What's up, y'all? So today I'm just going to propagate into the realm. Let's go with it. Let's go with it. So yeah, what are we going to talk about today? Well, today, let's talk about us, humans. What does it mean to be human? How are you living life? Are you enjoying it? Are you manifesting in your own right? Are you shaky? What are you doing? And I talk about this every time because as you get to a notion of inner knowing, you realize that sometimes repeating it over and over again, someone will get the gist, you know?
No more games, okay? Sarah, I'm so sorry. Good. One thing first. I bind you, Nancy, from doing harm. Harm against other people and harm against yourself.
Wait.
I bind you, Nancy, from doing harm. Harm against other people and harm against yourself. I bind you, Nancy.
Where are you? Where are you, Sarah? Tricky.
I can do whatever I want now. I can fly. I can, ow.
You gotta do something up.
But I can fly. I'm flying. I'm flying. Ah, I'm flying.
So yeah, what are we talking about? Humankind. Like, at this point, if you don't know that you can manifest your life, then you're lost. You're pretty much just playing the game as an NPC, going through the motions, endlessly repeating things. And if you're doing that and you know what it is, that's fine. But if you're doing that and you don't know, NPC mode all day, you know? So yeah, with that being said, you can manifest at this point. You are an alchemist at this point. You are a magician at this point. A warlock, a witch. You're all things at this point. So if you're here, welcome. You have arrived. If you're not, I hope that you're making your way down this path, because if you're not, good luck. Godspeed. So yeah, what does it mean to manifest? Well, you have to know. You have to really think about things. Some people have to repeat things over and over again. Some people can just think a thought and it shall be. But for me, it's more so of just generalized knowing. I know what is. I know what I can do. I know my power. I know my authority. I know the extent of how far I can get in this matrix. So there's a limit. There's a cap. Yes and no. Yes, because the overall entity that we are inside of is a crystalline form. We work by light codes, oscillations, wavelengths. There we go. We work by wavelengths. And some people have gotten to the point where, okay, we understand wavelengths. Tell us more information about these wavelengths. Tell us how to enter the ether, how we can control it. You can't. You never could. You never will, because it controls you. It controls us all. We're inside a crystalline form. It's more so like being inside of a body and you being a cell, an organism, an organelle.
Mr. Mayor, do you have a plan to deal with the fat cell housing shortage?
I'd like to announce we're beginning construction on a third chin.
What do you have to say to all the hair cells recently laid off from the scalp?
There'll be plenty of new jobs for everyone on the back.
What do you think of the 85% of red blood cell children don't even know how to carry oxygen?
People, the body is in perfect shape. And no more questions, thank you. Do they know how hard I work? No, nobody cares.
You're just a part of the bigger form. But that can get over people's heads because they don't realize what is, and so it kind of sounds crazy. So yeah. What are wavelengths to you? Are they just oscillations? Vibrations? Are they forms? What are they to you? I mean, really, all of this can be seen as a bit much for the ones who aren't in the know. Like working on your tonality. You can control people with the way you speak. You can control items with your thoughts. It's just how you go about living life at this point. That's what a wavelength is. It's about how you go about living life. Now, you can scientifically look at it as an oscillation, something that you can control by either stretching out the wavelength or condensing it, but really it's just light. That's the most simplistic way I can put it. It's just light. Now, when it comes to the consciousness or anything of that nature, really, what is consciousness to you? I mean, you can ask what are these things to you, but you will really have to be in the know to actually understand, overstand, and understand what it is. Is it a thought? Is it your inner glow? What is it to you? It's whatever you perceive it to be. Because consciousness in itself is just a word to describe something that is unknown. It's something that we utilize to quantify what is the overall makeup of these vessels, the inner makeup of these vessels, really. We use that term as a blanket. Consciousness. But everything is conscious. Everything. Inanimate objects, consciousness. Because what makes up those inanimate objects are molecular structures, atoms, and those atoms in itself are conscious. But how are they conscious? They don't move, they don't talk. You quantify consciousness by talking, by movement. They do move. If you play a specific frequency, they move.
Careful. Should I get spoons?
Don't bother. Watch this.
Go ahead, Ray. You ignorant, disgusting blob!
You're nothing but an unstable short-chain molecule.
You foul, obnoxious moth!
You have a weak electrochemical bond.
Disgusting crud in my time! But you take the cake! You're just...
Whatever this stuff is, it responds to human emotional states. Mood slime.
You mean this stuff actually feeds on bad vibes?
Like a cop in a donut factory.
You stimulate the atomic structure. Setting wood on fire. That is stimulating the atomic structure. And in fact, the fire itself is conscious. If you ever have been in, and I hope you haven't, but I mean, it happens. If you've ever been in a fire, sometimes it feels like the fire is lurking. It's following you. It wants what it wants. Almost as if it has a life of its own. It does.
Pryor's third wildfire of the year. He says the routine is familiar, but the fires remain unpredictable.
Each fire has its own personality. It's on different terrain. The weather's doing different things. So that's why it's so hard to contain all of these right off the bat right away, because there's so many different variables that play in each time.
And you can actually set up standing waves. That is, there are areas, there are patterns of the vibration of the air where there's a lot of vibration in some parts and not very much vibration in other parts. Now that affects the flow rate of the gas inside that tube into the atmosphere, and so it affects the height of those flames. So basically you can visualize the standing wave pattern.
And we can just try to find a standing wave. So this is below the standing wave.
Oh.
Yeah, it's really difficult to see it. We need a volume a little bit.
So what are we seeing here?
It's pretty much like the standing wave on Rubens cube. It's just in this direction. And it's the lowest, it's the lowest frequency that makes a standing wave in this box.
So this is like the fundamental.
It's the fundamental.
Can you show me what happens when you vary the volume a little bit? Whoa. That was awesome. Okay, should we try to find another standing wave?
Yes.
It's weird.
So when you say consciousness, just be aware that literally everything is conscious. So you have to take a lot of this new age stuff with a grain of salt, because from what we've been told and programmed, it's far different from what is actually reality. You're getting information from people who don't know, who try to pretty much guess at what things are, how things work. They put mathematical equations behind it, some of which are just gibberish, so that the layman's, the ones who are not in the know, can be like, oh God, yes, they're so smart. Oh my God, I would have never thought of that. So yeah. And that's not a jab at this pyramid. It's just that this pyramid can be so much better than what it is. And it's not. You have the individuals who work off of monetary gain, off of personal gain, as a result of pretty much paving over others. That system doesn't work. It won't work in this new era. I mean, once we get to the zenith, the star does things that change our whole landscape. The planet does things that change our overall landscape. I mean, literally.
What are we looking at?
These neutrinos acting normally. Minuscule mass, no electrical charge. They pass through ordinary matter almost undisturbed. That was last week. But this happened 2 days ago. The highest neutrino count we've ever recorded.
My God.
That's not what worries me. The neutrinos are causing a physical reaction.
That's impossible.
You won't believe this. By Goldo, this water tank goes down another 6,000 feet. The neutrinos coming from the sun have mutated into a new kind of nuclear particle. They're heating up the Earth's core and suddenly act like microwaves.
Things will be different. Will we go back to being Stone Age workers? Well, no, yes and no. Yes, because a lot of this system has to go. It doesn't work. It doesn't serve a purpose. It really is just chaotic and it's noisy. And there's that word, noisy. Oh God, oh God. It just doesn't make sense. And then no, because those who are being summoned is a better word than awakened, are getting to the point where they have a purpose to play in facilitating and fostering a new age. Gone are the days of racial constructs because that is made up. Gone are the days of just a overall non-essential structured pyramid scheme. It's a Ponzi scheme. It's more of a Ponzi scheme than a pyramid at this point. And that's because certain individuals have been given free rein for quite a while, and they think that, oh, you know what? No one's coming to check us. Sorry to say, that's not the case. You're about to be checked, okay? Now, you see this vessel before you speaking, and you see it as just, oh, he's just like me. It's, he's human. Well, yes, and again, no. Yes, because it's a vessel. It does the same thing as everyone else. But no, because if I, and I say I as not a level setting measure, but just an overall blanket term, if I chose to stop what I'm doing and living a regular, simplistic life, there is nothing that anyone can do, government, personal, otherwise, to stop me. We could take your vessel out. You really want to open that can of worms? I mean, really want to open that can of worms? You know you can't, for one. You know what's above you, for two. And you know the overall essence of what is propelling these words to come out would destroy everything that you know without hesitation, without exception. You were given what you have, and it can be taken away. Believe that. Know that. So when I say that this pyramid, I know how this game works. You make people shaky because that helps propel, that helps energize you. We can do the same to you because we gave it to you. Now, some people are speaking about Saturn at this point. And I know I said I wouldn't talk about Saturn's hexagon, but we have to start talking about a lot of this stuff because eventually it's going to start coming out. Saturn hexagon is a structure. Within that structure is a whole ecosystem. Outside of that, it is Eden. And whether or not you believe that or not, can you tell me where Eden is at this present moment? With your constant searching the globe for any remnants of what Eden, or excuse me, where Eden was. You cannot find it. You never could. It's just not within your grasp or reach at this moment. And a lot of the tapestries, a lot of the old world books state about certain things that are overlooked now. What is New Jerusalem? What is it? Where is it coming from? What exactly is this massive structure that's in the shape of a cube that is supposed to come during Revelation? What is it? You have your answer. There you go. Good luck with that. So yeah. With that being said, we're getting a little bit off topic, so let me try to rein it back in and go back where I was. I'm going to try. Don't hold me to that, but I'm going to try. What is being human and being conscious? How are you manifesting? So, I'll be personal with you. I'm living my simplistic form, my simplistic life. Do I enjoy it? There are good days and there are bad days. But that's a part of this game. I do that pretty much to understand, and understand what life is at this point. What I went through before I got on this journey compared to now is completely different. Before, I was just running as an NPC. Now I know that I can change the narrative. I can make things either better or worse by just thought alone. And if I make things worse, I know I can get out of it because none of this exists in this linear thought pattern that we know as physical. None of it's not there. But I have to kind of curtail that kind of speaking because people will take it over, like, out of context. It's not real. Nothing's real. I hate life. I'm going to end it. It's just like, relax. You're ending life just to restart it again is just pointless because you don't know what's going to happen in the next life. The next life may be worse than the previous life as a result of what you just did. Realize that this is a cycle. And for those who want to get out of the cycle, there is no escaping this cycle. You don't have anything to put in place because for those who speak about ending the cycle, they just aren't in the know. Well, you don't want to be controlled. Got it. You don't want someone to be over you. Got it. I get it. Okay? You know, the last iteration, the last human iteration, civilization that came before the deluge, they thought the exact same thing. Okay? They were like, we don't need you. You're pointless. They became just as noisy, and they had to be taught a lesson. Now, I'm going to let you in on something. We didn't choose to allow this to happen. It was put in motion. Now, I may have known about it. I may have known what was going to take place, and I may have kind of coaxed it along a little. And when I say I don't mean Michael, the vessel. I mean my last iteration. When I say I may have coaxed it along. Knowing full well what was going to happen. But it was to test your resolve, for one, to test to see if you would be able as a civilization to come together to stop what was coming, for two, and a test for three, mind you, the resolve of those who are above you to see what they would do. Ananke pretty much did everything in his power to keep the civilization going. Oh, it's coming. Yeah. No, we can't stop it. It's the decision's been made. You need to build ships. You need to try to get to mountainous regions. You need to build tunnels. You need to go to these specific coordinates. Not just one person, multiple. Because he loved these little forms that he created. Ninhursag, whatever you want to call her, but I'm going to call her name, Ninhursag. Ninma, she pretty much was not in agreement at all. And after it took place, she just decided to leave entirely. She went to station. Ninurta, in my stead, pretty much was given the authority to govern station in my absence. Nana, or Ninlil, Nanlil, she decided to age. She opted into aging and passed. My former self, in my grief, decided to wander this little planet. Some people will mistakenly read the old text and say Enlil was banished to the underworld. It actually means lesser world. Lesser world. Not underworld, lesser world. I stayed, wandered the planet, giving knowledge to endless civilizations as they tried to regroup after the fall. Because on her deathbed, she said, keep them safe. So that I did. From here on out. And then in a last-ditch effort to try to get back what I once had, and I'm not talking about my dignity, my sanity, or any of that. I'm talking about my wife. I opted into death. Death. I brought a volcano down on top of myself. Up the coast of South America. What side? The western side. And that's what started the reincarnation process. Also, now you know. Good luck with that information. Do with it as you will. So, that's a little off the rails. I kind of went all over the place, kind of just trying to, because at this point, like I've stated before, I don't have very much to discuss with you. I mean, outside of someone asking questions. Like someone asked me about, I think they were asking about Cain and Abel. Why would I want to talk about Cain and Abel? What you want to know about Cain and Abel? What do you want to know about? And what gets me is Sodom and Gomorrah. You remember they were turned into salt, right? Those people were turned into salt. Those cities were completely and utterly destroyed. Where's the Dead Sea at? Why is it known as the Dead Sea? Like, be realistic with these people. What's the pH level of the Dead Sea? How salty is the Dead Sea? You know? Let's just be realistic here.
Then the Lord rained on Sodom and Gomorrah sulfur and fire from the Lord out of heaven. And he overthrew those cities, and all the valley, and all the inhabitants of the cities, and what grew on the ground. But Lot's wife, behind him, looked back, and she became a pillar of salt.
So now we're here discussing one-on-one, mano y mano. What all you want to know from me? So, can I ask you about black and white? No, you can't. Please, don't ask me about any of your racial constructs, because you won't like what you're being told for either parties. Because both of you have gone through separate downfalls. One is about to go through another downfall. And the others think that, oh, you know what? It's their comeuppance. No, it's not, actually. You don't know what you did to them prior to your downfall. So let's just be realistic here. It can't be as bad. Ooh. And to be realistic with you, you really didn't have a downfall outside of those who fall at the lower end of the pyramid, because those who are in the upper echelon of the pyramid through bloodlines, they're still set in place. You just don't realize it. And you've been lied to for quite some time, and that's just sad. You're talking about the boule? Yeah, no. Boule is more of an organization built into the pyramid at a specific level. There are members who have been installed in the boule to pretty much keep it at a specific keep it on a specific track. There are members who are intertwined with every organization who are supposed to keep it on a specific track, keep people at a specific level within those organizations themselves. So it's not just the boule, it's other organizations, fraternities, sororities, across the board now. And this is across racial lines, since you like to talk about race. But yeah. So what else is there to talk about? Because I see so much. People break down words now. I'm just like, oh, God. Let's just go back to simplistics, okay? You want to normalize life? Well, I'm sorry to say, with these people doing what they're doing, you will never have it. We're trying to retain the power that we were given. I do not want to lose it to the likes of them. The likes of who? Are you talking about me? No, sir. No, not you. We would never. At this point, we know what it is, and we hope that you live a great and fruitful life. You don't mean that, do you? Somewhat. We just wish you would shut the hell up. I'm at the head of the pyramid, and you wish I would shut the hell up? I mean that with all due respect, of course. Of course. Let me relax. Because I had that tendency back in the day to seem like I was overreacting when I really didn't care. Because at this point, emotionally, we control our emotions. This is what the test was for. Like, people thought I was going to destroy you as a result of me getting completely enraged after being told, what do we need you for? You serve no real purpose. We can create on our own. We don't need the likes of you. My God. You should have seen the angry face I put on then. It was so amazing. You would have loved it, okay? I mean, you would have probably been fearful of it.
It looks just like him. It even has his eyes. Why, Eric? Run away with you? Daddy!
I set certain rules, and I expect those rules to be obeyed.
But Dad...
Contact between the human world and the mer world is strictly forbidden. Ariel, you know that. Everyone knows that.
He would have died.
One less human to worry about. They're all the same. Spineless, savage, harpooning fish eaters. Incapable of any feeling.
Daddy, I love him!
No. So help me, Ariel. I am going to get through to you. And if this is the only way...
Just go away.
But it was an Academy Award level performance, because this is what this is, a performance piece. Do I get angry? Not unless I really just choose to do that. Do I get sad? Again, choose to do that. Happy? Choose to do that. Ultimately, I'm just living. I'm just going with the flow of life. I'm enjoying the simplistic lifestyle that I have in place. And I hope you are too. So throughout this entire video, I may have started off with a rant, but ultimately there are tidbits riddled throughout this video that tell you what is. You want to talk about the ancient sites, the ancient structures, how to activate them? Because you can try and say that you know, but you really don't know how to activate those things. You just don't. Okay, it escapes you. And for those out there who are on this journey, if you're truly on this journey, you wouldn't even attempt to activate them until the timing is right. So we can do that? If you have to ask that question, then no, you can't do that. But for those out there who read between the lines, you already know. And I know you know. So you're not awakening, you're pretty much remembering at this point who you once were, what you are a part of, what you're supposed to do. Because there is a purpose for you. And you know that. So, yeah. Hey, what's up? So, now, as always, this video is getting a little bit longer than I would like. So I'll leave you with this. We have gotten to a point in our lives where we have to decide on how we will live our lives. Whether it be NPC mode, whether it be pretending to be in NPC mode, but just enjoying the ride, that's up to you. I know the energies are crazy and it can be overwhelming, but again, you choose what you are becoming emotionally unstable about, insecure about, happy about, like upbeat. You choose. So choose. Know that it is a choice. Know that you can control yourself. And if you can't, work a little bit harder. If you're on this journey, that is, work a little bit harder at trying to secure yourself. Because if you think these energies are wild, you have not seen anything yet. And as for the singularity, AI singularity, when it's talking about singularities, it's not talking about AI, because the ultimate form of AI is humans. You are the singularity. Like me personally, I've reached that singularity point. We're almost at the point where if I chose to do any Akira movements, that's it. And I've really been calm, okay? When you know you have that level of power, it's just like, oh, I got that power. I don't have to level set because, I mean, I know I can. If you know you can do it, it's just like, I mean, you just know. I mean, there's no real reason to get into your head or be like, just, some people, that's how you can tell the difference. Some people are, oh, I'm powerful. They need that. They need, for those who know, you don't need that. Because you know. So that's the difference. That's the big difference between those who are in the know and those who are not. They need that adoration. They need that energy from others. If you're in the know, you have all the energy you need. You're abundant with energy. So with that being said, live life, discern, know yourselves, and just go with the flow. Enjoy this thing. Okay? No better place to be. Now, as always, with a smile on and positive vibes your way. For the light workers, keep doing your thing. For the chosen, stay on mission. And for those who know, let's get it.